Good morning, welcome to Planet Mojo. Today I'm going to put the lower rim boards in at the end of the trusses and finish the plumbing. If you were watching yesterday, yet again I had problems trying to do plumbing. It's not problems like with soldering or anything like that. The problem was that the torch head was screwed up and I couldn't finish. So I'm going to get that marked. This is the lower rim board. I'm going to get this marked, and what I'm going to do is glue this entire bottom section and clamp it into place up at the end of the trusses there. The reason for gluing it, I don't necessarily have to glue it, but A, it'll add a bunch of strength, and B, it won't allow water to go underneath there. And that can be a problem. If this is not done before it rains the next time, which it won't be, the water will puddle on the top plate there and run underneath it. And this side is treated against water, so this should be okay, the top, but the bottom is not. And I could prime this and paint it, and I've done that on many projects. If it's going to be exposed to the rain at all, you really want to treat these cut ends. I really don't like OSB, but you know, it is what it is. It's what is used these days, so there's no real alternative for sheathing. You can use plywood, but plywood, the quality of plywood has gotten so bad that I don't like using it. At least the OSB is flat, and if you get it up and get it sealed right away, it's not going to rot on you, hopefully. But anyways, let me get this marked. What I need to do is mark the locations where the trusses meet, then get this. I'm going to throw a few pocket screws to help hold it down, and then I'm going to glue it and clamp it in place, and I believe that sets fairly quick, but the screws should hold it as well. Then I need to loosen one truss at a time, pull it up tight against it, and screw through this into the truss. Yeah, it's a whole lot of work, but it's the only way I can do this. You see, these trusses were a little crooked at the end, and I just can't have that, so I had to trim just a hair off. So I got to do a little detail work to get everything in there flush and square and plumb and all that. So I'm going to get going and get my layout lines on here, get it pocket screwed, and get it glued in place. Then while that's drying, I'm going to work on the plumbing. Okay, that was a hell of a job. Yeah, it looks kind of sloppy. The glue goobered. It crashed again. We're contacting Square Trade about getting this damn camera replaced. It's using up a battery every half hour or so, and it's crashing constantly. I'm trying to get it back on now. Hopefully it lasts till the end of this video. Okay, so I got exactly what I want. It's screwed flush with the face, and I used it like caulk. On the inside, I just smoothed the bead so it's, you know, a little bit concave, little cove there, so it'll shed water until I get this thing sealed up. And you know, that's secondary. The primary function is gluing that down nice and strong. So what I'll do next is, well, I'll get this piece on. I have to cut back that foam just a little bit because it's going all the way back to the OSB on the structure. Next, I'll get that piece in. This, well, how many feet would that be? 8 feet. These come in 12-foot sections this size. Well, I imagine they come in a bunch of different lengths, but this is 12 feet. So I'll get that next one in and then let that dry for a good long time while I'm working on the plumbing and whatever else I gotta do. I want it to dry for as long as possible. Then I will unscrew one truss at a time, unscrew it from the far side, the cleat that's holding it on top, and the near side, and I will pull it up tight against this and screw it plumb and, well, screw it to it so it's in the right place, and then get it nice and plumb. And then once this side's all the way done like that, then I'll go and do the other side. The other side will require a little bit of shimming because of the thicknesses weren't all correct, and the ends of the trusses were on the, well, these are the small ends. The small ends of the trusses had a bevel outwards of about 5 degrees on some of them, not all of them. So I trimmed all of them just to get them square, to get them perpendicular, and then I trimmed this side just to get them all to the exact same length. So I took maybe a 1/16 off. Now when I do this side, I'll shim it until the OSB rim board is plumb, and screw right through the shims. That way I'll have nice straight walls. The way these trusses came, my walls would be pitched outwards here and there, so it would have been real wavy. The next couple steps possibly would cover that up. I mean, it gets, oh, you can't see it here. It gets the furring strips, foam, and then furring strips. And then when you put the siding over all of that, you know, the siding is the final detail, and it takes out any, you know, little bit of waves that you got. So in the end, it'll all be perfect, but I can't let errors keep compounding along the way. Otherwise, it will be kind of screwed up. So let me cut this foam. Those little chunks of OSB are just holding it there while the glue dried. I'll cut a chunk of that out, cut this next piece to length, pocket screw it, and get this in. And I'm not going to film that. I'll show it to you afterwards. It's just, once you start gluing, it just, you have to move so quick in order to get everything in place before the glue starts setting. So I'll get that in place and then come back and show you the next step. Okay, hopefully this camera doesn't crash on me. It's even worse now that we sent it to Square Trade to get it fixed. Cindy was just on the phone with them for an hour and a half, and they want us to send it back one more time. Idiots. She's had real big problems dealing with them. Well, mostly with them lying. We did this, we did that, when we know they didn't. But anyways, I have both of them in. Where is the joint? The joint's right there, real nice and tight. And like I said before, that the edge facing down is the cut edge, which is very vulnerable to water. So the cut edge is completely sealed up with construction adhesive. So if it's exposed to weather, it's not gonna degrade until I get this done. So I cut that back, got her glued and screwed to the first truss, which is permanent already. Now I need to wait for this to set up. So I have plenty to do during that time. I have the plumbing, and these strips right here go on the inside of these window openings. A standard window size is 30 inches by 54, or 30 inches is a standard width. I don't know why, because the opening between two studs is 30 and a half. So we're a half inch too big, hence the fillers. This is all treated. So I'm just going to glue this and then tack it in place with a pneumatic gun and then let her dry. So I have that. I got to go all the way around with that. And I have the plumbing. So I'm going to do all that after lunch. So that should give this hours and hours to dry up. You're supposed to wait 24 hours before you stress these joints. But, I mean, it's almost dry already. But what I think I'll do is I'll probably just clamp it on both sides of whichever area I'm working. Like if I'm working on that truss, I'll throw a clamp on either side just to keep it stable. All I'm really doing is sliding the truss gently up against it, squaring it up, and throwing a couple screws through it. So I have a ton of clamps too, so I can leave them on there if need be, but I don't think so. All right, I'm gonna go have lunch and then get back at this after lunch. Okay, back from lunch. Set up a sprinkler to give this oats a jump start. You can see under the tree it's doing quite well, and for some reason on this little chunk of road right here, but right here it's just super dry, so I'll have the sprinkler going in the background. Okay, got the third one, new torch tip. So while this is getting extra dry, I'm sure it's dry right now. I mean, dry to the touch. But you're not supposed to stress it for 24 hours. So I'll give it a few more hours. I'm not going to stress it, but I have to work with it. So I'll give it a few more hours and start as late as I can. But until then, this is where I left off. So I got to pull this back apart. That looks like it's soldered, but it's not. pull it back apart, clean it up, re-sand it, reflux it, and start over on this joint and get this stuff done. Okay, I kind of skipped to the end here. I really had to get things done fast. I had a lot to do. The hell was that? I had a lot to do and very little time to get it done. I got the water in. You could see both valves are open, which they really shouldn't be, but this water line here is going to be cut off and will run over to the sink and then up to the water heater. I'm going to cut it off as soon as I find out the exact height that that's going to be. I don't want it jogging a bunch of times, so it's going to come straight over. It's a little crooked, but no, not crooked. Okay, and then what else did I do? Oh, I blocked in all of the window openings. The normal opening between the studs, as I said before, is 30.5. Crash again. Damn GoPro. Square Trade said they can fix it. They want us to send it back again, and now it won't start. There it goes. Piece of junk. Okay. I got the blocking in. This is treated blocking. It's glued and finish nailed. So that's all done. And now I'm just waiting on this stuff to dry. It's going to rain overnight. And then hopefully once it dries out tomorrow, I might have to use the heat gun again to get some stuff dry a little quicker. But I'm hoping to get all of these joists pulled into their final position, screwed in, then get the hurricane straps on, and then do the other side. At least get the rim joists in, or not rim joists, rim boards in. So that's it for today. If you want to follow the rest of this stuff, make sure you subscribe and click on the update icon so you receive notice when I post new videos. If you have any questions or comments, make sure you put it in the comments section below, and a thumbs up and a share helps the channel greatly, so if you would do so, I'd be eternally grateful. Thanks for watching and have a great day.